My name is Timur, and I'm with Yandex, Russia's leading search provider, which is not relevant here, and I'll be talking about different things. Basically, I'll be talking about an open source initiative that our company supports. It's called One Platform Foundation. The basic idea behind it is to ease and facilitate publishing and maintaining applications in multiple Android app stores. I was talking to people at Droidcon for 2 days, previous days, and I was surprised that people were aware of alternative app stores before. In other countries, they weren't actually aware. They would say like, okay, there's Google Play. Why would we do something else? So Germany, respect. People know stuff around. So let me tell you a little bit about app stores anyway, because I've prepared these slides. So there are like more than 50 different application stores available on Android, and I think there are like 10 to 15 which worth publishing to. Here you see some of them, and I think some of these stores you might know. Some of them you might publish to. By the way, does anyone ever publish to an alternative app store? Okay, since I can basically hear you, what would that be? What application store did you publish to? Beyond Google Play.
I tried, well, actually 2 years ago I tried everything. So Slide Me, App Store.
Even all these Chinese app stores?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And you?
Everyone have it.
Oh, really? Really? So you have it even in the Yandex store? I think it's quite new. So anyone else maybe published to an app store that it's not on the screen because it's just the main ad. I dropped them there. Oh, Thibaut, where did you post your app?
I did post my app in the store. They still registered.
Oh, the guy knows something about alternative app stores. Okay, so people know something about app stores. So anyway, why should I think about it? Why should I publish to alternative app stores? So the first thing is, you don't want to miss the people who are out there with devices without Google Play. And there are plenty of them. I'll show the slide later. The next thing is like, it's a better discoverability for your app. An easy example, if you're a small studio or an indie developer and you have your application posted in Google Play, let's say in a couple of weeks, it goes to the down of the list. I mean, it's not visible to users anymore. It's not exposed. Unlikely in small stores, you still have a better chance of being at top even after 2 or 3 weeks because there are lesser apps. So this is the second thing. Another important thing, how I see, is a larger geographical spread, because there are countries which has a local application store, which are well, not as significant, maybe not as significantly big as Google Play, but which are worth checking out. Oh, I pressed something different. I'm sorry. So. I'd like to back up this with some data, but it's really hard to find a solid number saying like, please, this is the information from some agencies. But there's definitely millions of devices worldwide that are shipped without Google Play. Just believe that number. It's true. I'll just give you a couple of data facts what I have. So Amazon, these guys claim that they have 22% of the American tablet market. It was posted in their official press release. I couldn't confirm it, so I just checked it myself. So worldwide, they have 11.5%. So 11.5% of all tablets shipped worldwide are Amazon, and they don't have Google Play, period. Well, another thing, like you mentioned, Slide Me, these guys have like 20 million devices running with their store exclusively. There is no Google Play as well. So if you don't post there, you miss this 20 million devices with actual people. Yesterday, I caught up with Zasha, a great guy. I don't remember his last name, but I think he's known in Germany. He's a blogger who lives in Taiwan. And we were talking about the application store in Asia. And I knew this fact before, but he just confirmed it to me yesterday about Korea. So there is this application store called T-Store, which is comparable to Google in sizes in Korea. So they have like 18.5 million users. They have just over 1 billion application downloads, and people in Korea actually pay money. So if you go to Korea and you miss them, you miss a lot. So T-Mobile is, T-Store is definitely a store to post to if you're going to localize your app in Korea and sell it there. Another interesting thing is local payments. I don't know how it's in Germany, but in Russia, where I come from, people are not comfortable with paying with credit card. I mean, I had an example with my brother like a week ago. He said, like, I really like this app. How do I buy it? I said, well, your credit card, just put in the information. He said, no, I don't want to do that. No, thank you. An example is Yandex store in Russia. What they did is they did a direct carrier billing with all Russian operators. So it's much easier for users to buy content of Yandex store. Google is also trying to start it, but I think they only have one like smaller operator. So Yandex store may be choice for the Russian users to buy software. Another interesting case about China. It's a funny slide how things stand in the West. And how things stand in China. So in China you have like 30 to 40 to 50 maybe different application stores. Google Play is literally non-existent there. Maybe because of their problem with Chinese government, I don't know. But anyway, there are like 5 to 10 application stores the same size. And one of the biggest China's mobile stores called Mobile Market, with a good name for an application store. They claim to have 149 million users with like almost 2 billion application downloads, and which makes this the biggest Chinese application market. I'm not telling you that you should go and publish to Chinese application store right away. What I'm saying is that this market in 5 years might change dramatically, and if you think about like growing your revenues in there, maybe it's worth looking in that direction, and maybe it's worth localizing your app and at least start experimenting in that direction. So it's an essential thing, right? You convinced us we should publish to different app stores to try, right? But there are a couple of problems we have. The first thing is it's really time consuming to at least publish to different application stores. The second, if you have in-app billing, it's also time consuming. I mean, there are different APIs. You need time to spend your time to upload there. So One Platform Foundation, an open source initiative, is about solving these problems. So the first project under this initiative is called AppDF, application description format, or application description file. It's a format like to ease your life. I'm going to explain it a couple of slides later how it works. So how things stand today when you publish to different app stores. So you have your APK, you have the screenshots, you have the description, which is long description, short description, change logs, etc., etc., etc. And different application stores have different requirements, maybe for promotional graphics, and you have to do it in each application store. So it would look something like this. I forgot to add that each APK plus screens plus metadata might be different, because, like I said, they have different requirements for something. So if you post to a significant amount of stores, it might easily take you up to 1 day to upload your app in every store, which is ridiculous to me. So the basic idea behind this application description file format is we take an application, We take meta description of the application. We take resources like icons, promo images, and screenshots, and package it in one single file with the AppDF. AppDF. How do you call it? AppDF. Whatever. AppDF format. And then you could publish this application file to every app store, that supports it. I have a little kind of demo. I wouldn't call it a demo, it's a developer conference. I don't call XML a code, but anyway, I think you could see it. So it's basically the first version of application description file specification. I'll briefly just run through it, what we have here. So for each application, you have categories, you have the description, and description is it doesn't map to a description in a form of developer console. Description is a little bit different here. So there are text description, like title, then keywords, short description, full description, features, changelog, privacy policy, etc., etc. Then the next section under it, it's the images, which explains everything that I told about earlier. So the application icon, small and large promos, screenshot, etc., etc. Then the videos. And this section is description localization, which has this argument with language, obviously Russian. So what you can do is you can put your localized content within the section. The next thing is the content description, which includes rating, content, rating certificates, content descriptors, etc., etc. Let's keep this. The next important thing is the price you want to charge for your application. It's whether free or you want to charge something for it, the base price in USD. Then you have the local prices, let's say Germany, France, Russia, etc., etc. Then an important thing is the APK files. You can have more than one, because you know that in some stores you can have multiple APKs. So these are optional. An important thing is the consent here is this section you cannot skip. Is basically an agreement between you and the store, which you have to say yes for all the stores. I mean, you have to say that yes, I agree to whatever agreements you have between you and the store. And there is a section, a store-specific section, which is optional. It just explains, as understood from the name, some store-specifics and store-specific information. So what you do is you just describe everything in this file. It basically covers all stores that we, as of today, managed to investigate. That's close to 10, and we are continuing to do. We continue to do this. If you're not comfortable with doing this, you could use a AppDF editor. So it's a very funny web app that can do everything I've just shown you in a fancy way. I don't know if you see it. Yeah. So everything I've just shown you can be done using this a more friendlier interface. It's a long thing to fill in. We're also working. We also want to do the following. We want to this AppDF editor be able to gather data by package name from Google Play. So most of the data will be filled in for you. I mean, this is the next steps for this. So after you fill in everything, you just press this build AppDF file button, and as an output, you have the AppDF file that you can upload to application store that support it. Cosmos. So this is the diagram basically explaining how it works. The developer gives the application description to AppDF editor. AppDF editor generates the file for you, and this single file can go to whatever app store that supports it. Okay, problem number 1. Approach, solution, yeah, we're gonna have it. Well, problem number 2 is the in-app billing. And what we have, what problems do we have with in-app billing? The first and most important thing is in-app billing is not part of Android. In-app billing, well, each of the application stores have their own APIs. So there's no something like open APIs. I mean, different stores, different APIs. The more stores there are, the more APIs you have to implement. Sucks. So this is basically the picture of how it works today. Please implement the Google API, please implement the Amazon, please implement the Samsung API to store. As of today, it was 5, yeah, 5, because Nuke, they've announced that they are going to have in-app billing as well a couple of days ago, so there's now 5 in-app billings. So what we want to do, this is the idea behind it. We want to wrap all existing in-app billing APIs in one single library. This is step A. Step B, we want to expose a single open in-app billing API for developers that will just call through to whatever in-app billing that any store will provide. And we want, it's a hard thing to do, of course, but we want that. We want more stores to support this open in-app billing API when we roll it out. And we want more developers to do it using open in-app billing API. So the idea is I write it once and then I don't care. I just don't want to do it like 5 or 6 times, just once and I don't care. So it's an open source initiative, like I said, and it's started recently, so we already have some progress. So in AppDF description file stuff, we have now rolled out specification version 1.0. It's up and running on 1pf.org website. I'll show the link later, as well as in the GitHub. We also have the editor that I've just shown you. We have plans, and there is a roadmap for updating it. Like I said, an important thing is pulling data from Google Store for you not to type extra stuff. We already have the libraries in Python, Java, and PHP for stores to support AppDF on their side. That's basically another huge work for us. It's like working with stores, convincing them that they really need it. I mean, small stores are easier to deal with. Bigger stores are obviously harder. With in-app billing, it's just starting. So what we have is we have a game that implements it's now 5, but we didn't have enough time for the 5th, 4 billing in-app billing APIs, just for you guys to see how it works. So the game is available in GitHub as well, under project. So who are we looking for? So this is a open source project, so we're looking for Android developers who'd like to join, who are interested in this, and there are many, like I see. So what I want from you guys, please go and try this AppDF stuff, because you guys are smart. We want your expertise, we want your feedback. We want to know whether it's worth doing or not from your side. Then give us a feedback, email me. I'm available here. I'll give my business cards. The second thing, please check out the Open in-app billing project on GitHub. There are some proposals. Please read through them, share your ideas, share your critics. What do you think about it? If you like it, please contribute. Well, in the end, just enjoy a less painful alternative App Store experience. This is the link to 1pf.org Foundation website. So if you guys have any questions, I'll answer them with pleasure. Thank you very much.